Mahatma Gandhi, the founder of our nation, who said once, "The world has enough for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed."
But she, out of her poverty, had put in everything she had, all that she had to live on. The poverty is not something new to the vocabs of the Bible. In the Old Testament, in the book of Ecclesiastes, book of Sirach, and the New Testament, in the Gospel of Matthew, Luke, we find this word and phrase poverty. Even when Jesus teaches the Beatitudes from the Sermon on the Mount, he states, "Blessed are those who are poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." My dear brothers and sisters, the key word of the Gospel of 32nd Sunday in ordinary time is poverty. Jesus at the temple, having observed the excessive contribution the rich people are making at the temple, now pays his attention to the poor widow who just put in very few copper coins. Jesus infers, having observed the contribution of this poor widow, and he states, "For those rich ones have contributed out of their abundance, but she had put in everything out of her poverty." This poor widow had nothing to hope for the next day. What shall I do the next day? How shall I live on? She didn't have such apprehension about the next day. Similarly, when you come to the first reading of this Sunday, the poor widow from Zarephath, after being asked by prophet Elijah for a morsel of bread, what did she reply? She tells prophet Elijah, "I may go in and prepare for myself and for my son, and we shall eat it and die." Having been asked for a morsel of bread, this is what she says, "Let us eat it and die." Even this poor widow had nothing to keep for the next day. She didn't have anything to hope for the next day, nothing to pin hopes on for the next forthcoming day. In fact, this prophet Elijah joins with the suffering of this poor widow from the town of Zarephath. In the same way, Jesus pays attention to the poor widow at the temple who had nothing to live on for the next day. My dear brothers and sisters, we go on thinking about our future, making a lot of plans about the next days and the next months and for the next years. And all this planning we make for ourselves and for our journey doesn't get included all those less fortunate ones around us. Often they fall outside our attention. We go on making plans, storing things far beyond what me and my next generation would actually need. Who are the victims for this disastrous, covetous plans, attitudes we have towards storing and keeping for the next day? Those people who are deprived of the bare necessities for their life, they are the people who are being affected by this. And the poor widow from the today's gospel and the poor widow from the reading we find, they fall under the same category. Have you ever thought why such people even exist in 21st century? When you flip back through the history of the pages, we come across a beautiful personality Mahatma Gandhi, the father of our nation, who said once, "The world has enough for everyone's need, but not for everyone's greed." Even in the beautiful prayer Jesus taught us, through which we call God as Abba Father, we say, "Give us this day our daily bread." But in actual life situations, we go on storing and searching and accumulating and hoarding things for us, building barns for storing them. Where shall we heading towards? Should we stop at all the plans we make for the next day and the next months and next years? I don't mean to say that we should stop planning about our future. But these well-established plannings and policies we make for our future should be including so many people who are less fortunate. Let us be like Jesus, who was so much keen on focusing his attention on this poor widow who contributed few copper coins, even that to out of her poverty. Such people, do they fall under the radar of our attention? If not, let us extend our attention. Let us bring those people to a kind attention. Convince yourself the truth that it is often my greed that deprives many such most unfortunate peoples of their bare necessities of life, and they are pushed to death, they are pushed to destruction and extinction from this world. Let us emulate the model set before us by Jesus and by Prophet Elijah, who willingly joined in the sufferings of others. Amen.